All right, let's jump right in. If you've been watching the blockchain space, seeing these massive tectonic shifts in tech and finance, and thinking, you know what, I want to build something here, well, you are in exactly the right place. Today's explainer is breaking down a truly comprehensive roadmap. Nasir Ali Shah's ebook, Building a Crypto Empire. Think of this as your absolute ultimate briefing before you launch into the beautiful, totally chaotic, and highly lucrative 2025 crypto market. We are going to take those high-level strategies and turn them into a totally actionable step-by-step map so you can actually scale your passion into a real, thriving business.
Okay, let's dive into this sequential playbook. We are going to look at the 2025 crypto landscape, how to spot market opportunities, validating your idea, crafting your business plan, and finally, assembling your startup team. It's a complete start-to-finish map for your journey.
So starting off with Section 1, the call to arms, the 2025 crypto landscape.
Before you build an empire, you really have to understand the terrain, right? Let's hit the ground running with an undeniable reality. $3 trillion. That is the massive cryptocurrency market cap as of April 2025. This absolutely proves we are dealing with a thriving reality right now, not some distant promise or fringe internet experiment. I mean, it completely dwarfs the $300 billion size we were looking at back in 2017. The ecosystem has matured dramatically.
And you know that massive financial weight? It is backed by sheer human scale. Over 500 million people globally own crypto right now. 500 million. From Starbucks taking Bitcoin on the Lightning Network to Walmart tracking their supply chains, we are looking at a massive mainstream audience that is actively hungry for decentralized solutions.
Now, to navigate all of this, you absolutely need to know which way the current is flowing. These are the key trends shaping blockchain today. We are seeing mass adoption driven by simplicity. Finally, we are building for non-tech folks. Layer 2 dominance is slashing transaction costs down to literally pennies, which means thankfully we are completely done paying $50 in gas fees just to send $10. We have also got the tokenization of real-world assets, some actual regulatory clarity with the EU's MiCA framework, a huge push for sustainability, AI meeting blockchain for things like smart contract audits, and a massive focus on community-driven growth. And get this, subsectors like DeFi, they already have $200 billion in total value locked. The main takeaway here? Scalability and simplicity are absolute king right now.
But to really grasp what this looks like, let's bring it down to the human level. Take Anita's story. She was a freelance coder, totally fed up with centralized platforms just skimming off her earnings. So what did she do? She bypassed the gatekeepers entirely and built a micro-DApp, a decentralized app so freelancers could get paid instantly in crypto. She had zero formal funding. She just marketed it on X and Discord, and boom, grew her user base to 10,000 people. Her platform processes millions every year now. It just goes to show, a bit of passion and a super focused idea can absolutely explode in this environment.
Moving on to Section 2, mapping the terrain, spotting market opportunities.
So the landscape is huge, but now we need to zoom out and find that specific white space where your empire can actually take root. What is really interesting about this is that it's a highly repeatable, methodical process to find those market gaps. You can't just say, oh, my target is crypto. No way. You have to define your scope, like crypto payroll for freelancers. Then you analyze the competition using tools like DApp Radar, engage the community to hear their real frustrations on X and Discord, crunch the numbers on Dune Analytics, and finally, spot the gap. Because that gap, that is exactly where your empire begins.
Which brings us to Section 3, the crucible of validation, validating your idea.
Once you spot that gap, you have to prove the idea actually works in the real world, ideally before you drain your entire war chest of time and money. The absolute golden rule here? Build an MVP and build it fast. A minimum viable product. Get a bare-bones version out there. If it's a payroll app, literally just code a smart contract paying Ethereum to one single user. You can use developer tools like Hardhat to speed the whole thing up. Remember Anita? Her very first app was literally just a single simple payment script, but it worked, and that's exactly why she was able to scale it into something huge.
Look, validation isn't about perfection, it is all about evidence. You want to test with real users. Maybe offer small incentives, like a fraction of ETH to beta testers on X or Discord. Measure your traction against highly specific goals, like hitting 100 signups. Fun fact, when Uniswap first launched, they validated their demand by having 1,000 users swap tokens in just their very first week. You can even pre-sell or crowdfund to see if people are actually willing to open their wallets for what you are building.
All right. Section 4, forging the master plan, crafting your business plan.
Now that you have got this validated spark, it is time to turn it into a concrete 10 to 15-page strategic shield. Every great empire starts with a rock-solid purpose. So the crucial point is, your mission statement must be specific, bold, and solve a real problem. Look at this quote from Uniswap. It is the perfect example of brevity and purpose. No fluffy buzzwords, just exactly who they are helping and how.
From that mission, you derive your unique value proposition, or UVP. Let's imagine a hypothetical app called PayFree. If your freelancers are pulling their hair out, waiting 30 days for traditional bank transfers, your UVP shouldn't just be better payments. It needs to be razor sharp. Instant crypto payouts via Layer 2. It highlights the exact benefit, speed, and low cost, and it directly solves that specific pain point.
Ultimately, your business plan powers two vital weapons, your pitch deck and your elevator pitch, and you have got to know when to use each. Your pitch deck is that 10 to 12 slide visual presentation tailored specifically for VCs or DAOs, where you detail your traction, your team, and your financial ask. Your elevator pitch? That is your 30-second verbal hook. It's pure, distilled confidence and clarity meant to grab someone's attention at a conference or in a super quick meeting. And listen, when you do pitch, your financials have to be bulletproof. If you are asking for a $1 million seed round, investors want to see absolute rigor. Breaking it down like this, say 50% to development, 30% to marketing, and 20% to operations, shows that you have realistically projected your costs. Showing this level of detail, that builds immense trust right off the bat.
And this brilliantly illustrates our final point. Section 5. Assembling the crew. Assembling your startup team.
You can have all the funding in the world and a genius plan, but solo missions almost always crash and burn in the high-stakes crypto space. Sure, a solo founder might be agile enough to bootstrap a quick MVP, but they are severely limited in scale, highly prone to burnout, and, they occasionally do need to sleep. Scaling to millions of users requires a robust squad. You need hardcore coders for the complex tech, visionary marketers to build the community, and legal experts to guide you through those regulatory minefields. In a world where one tiny bug can lead to a massive security breach, a specialized team isn't a luxury, it is absolutely a necessity.
But here's the catch. Attracting Web3 talent in 2025 is incredibly competitive. Senior Solidity devs are easily pulling down salaries north of $200,000. So how on earth do you compete against the giants? You sell the vision. You pitch your mission, not just a paycheck. Offer them equity or a slice of your token supply so they actually have a true stake in the empire. Go completely remote, hire globally via X or Discord. And above all, showcase that early MVP traction so they know for a fact they are joining a winning team.
Building a blockchain startup is tough. No doubt about it. The volatility, the complexity, it's intense. But as this explainer has shown, the real rewards go way beyond just the financial upside. It's about escaping those old traditional gatekeepers. It is about shaping a decentralized legacy where value flows freely and individuals actually hold the reins.
You don't need to be a billionaire or some coding prodigy to get started. You really just need a vision, the right strategy, and the grit to see it through. This ecosystem is vast, it's chaotic, and it is absolutely bursting with potential. So, I will leave you with this. The blockchain ecosystem is waiting. What will your empire be? Thanks for hanging out with us for this explainer, and we will see you next time.